Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real, relevant, and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. We have with us today Ivory Morris. How are you, Ivory?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. Oh, man, first of all, you can sing. You know that, right?
Thank you, ma'am. I try.
Oh, gosh, you've been so modest. Thank you, ma'am. I try. Girl, bye. You know goodness well you can belt out a tune all day long. I cannot wait for you guys to just hear the journey of this indie recording artist, Ivory Morris. She's going to be sharing some of her story with us today. Instead of just only the singing piece, we're going to get a chance to learn more about who's behind that beautiful voice. So go ahead and grab your virtual seats, everyone. Let us know where you're visiting in from today. We'd love for you to give your name and what city you're visiting in. If you have any questions for Ivory, go ahead and type them in and we'll get to them throughout this hour. Are you excited to be here today, Ivory?
I am, and I appreciate you for welcoming me.
Well, I am honored to have you here. And thinking of which, I am not really a singer, but I do the best lip singing in the world. So if you sing, I can get whatever you sing, and I'm gonna be like,
awesome.
I can get into it. You would think if you didn't know, you would think I was really, really, really singing. But nah, I ain't saying nothing. Not really. Not hardly. So everybody, listen, I want to take a moment to introduce our lovely guest today. She is a worshiper, a minister, a mother, and a wife who has just finished up her bachelor's degree in biblical studies. She was born and raised in, I need my glasses, girl. I need to stop this whole bio for 1 second because I'll be done said all kind of words. Be like,
Right.
What is she doing? She need to have just put them glasses on. But she was born and raised in the church and has served as a worship minister and a youth minister. She's been involved in the music industry as a professional background vocalist, lead for years. And I'll let her tell you some of the people that she's backed up. So I'm not going to tell you the whole story because then you won't have anything to say, right? So I'll give you the chance to say that. And now she is walking out her promises. And I'll let you know what those promises consist of because you'll hear it right from Ivory Morris's mouth directly. Welcome, Ivory Morris, to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So there's a whole lot to you as a woman. I mean, you're this beautiful person that has really kind of come into your own. But I really want people to learn more just even about your childhood growing up. What was it like for Ivory Morris? Tell us a little bit about your life.
I grew up in a place called a very, very small town called Berlin in Maryland. It's right outside of a big retirement area that people like to go to.
What is it called again?
Berlin.
Berlin. Okay, I lived in Maryland. I'm like, I didn't hear that one before. Okay, right. Berlin.
It's right before you hit Ocean City, if you ever heard about Ocean City.
Okay.
But I grew up there, born and raised. My childhood was good, but very, very rough within the schooling part of it. I was very, bullied, talked about constantly. Yes. And it was hard to get through school. I allowed the teachers and my peers to dictate who I was at that time. And when you're younger, your greatest influence does come from your peers. Your mother and your father can bring you up in the ammunition of the Lord, take you to church every day, tell you that you're beautiful, that they love you. But at that age, the weight of what your peers say outweigh what your parents are telling you sometimes. And
Hmm. Well,
I
let me stop you for a second because
yeah,
I gotta understand what peers are saying to people because we're all dealing in this society where our children are being out in society all the time. What are some are people being intentionally harmful when you were growing up? They were intentionally, or did they not know that they were really hurting you, or were they intending to hurt your feelings?
oh no, it was intentional, purposeful.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, because I was a dark skinned girl and I had on these thick Coke bottle glasses back then. Look, we got contacts now, but back then I was wearing glasses when I was about probably 4 or 5, and
Interesting.
they were so thick. And so I would be talked about constantly all the way up to high school. It
Oh,
didn't start subsiding really until I got to the 11th grade.
get
Um,
out of here.
yeah, until I got to
And you said teachers too. You actually said teachers in your comment. You said were you bullied by teachers too?
well, I say teachers because they would put me in a class, and they didn't realize what was going on was I was being bullied, and so I didn't like to talk. I was really shy. I was an introvert, and so they didn't know that, and I can't blame them. They would put me in a class that would move progressively slower. And so I believed
Oh,
all those things. I believed all those things that the world had told me. And it wasn't until the 11th grade when things started to change for me. And actually, the change actually came through being a teen mother. I I got pregnant at 11 at 11th grade. Yeah, had my daughter, the one that looks just like me. She's such a blessing. She's my twin, and she's also like little mom around the house. She's the second mother.
she,
Um, yeah,
she does look identical to you.
yes, ma'am.
I actually thought it was a younger picture of you when I saw her from the younger years. I was like, is that you back in the day? But I'll
Yeah,
put her picture up too as well. Let me just pull her picture up now. Where is she over here? You know, I have a whole bunch of pictures over here, but I want to see which one oh, this one has your daughter in it. Actually has all your children. But she looks just
yes,
like you.
she does.
That's amazing. It's amazing. Like y'all could be twins for real. But
Oh,
this is your crew. This is your whole
yes,
crew here.
absolutely. And we
Okay, go
actually,
ahead. So you were a teen mom.
yes, I was a teen mother. And I thought that the world was going to end for me
Mm.
at being a teen mother. But my mother, a praying mother, I thank God for a praying mother. I thank God for a praying father. They said, no, baby, this is not the end. This is the new beginning for you. And they pushed me. I graduated with my class, walked across stage with my class, went to college. I mean, I just the whole change, a new me took place. And we think sometimes that when bad things happen in our lives, we think that's the end. But
Absolutely.
yeah, but the Bible says that everything works together for our good.
Every single thing works
Yeah,
together for our good, some kind of way. Whether we know the reason or not the reason, that's between God and God alone, actually. Not
right.
even between God and anybody else, just God, because He's the one that knows all of it. He knows the end before the beginning. So He already knew how everything was going to play out. So,
Already. Already. And so it just life just transitioned from there. I
okay.
began to fall in love with who I was. I began to fall in love with who God was in me, and it's been awesome since then. You can't tell me that. Look, you can't tell me that I'm not the hottest thing walking. It's nothing vain. It's nothing vain, but I know that I am beautiful, not just on the inside, but I'm beautiful also on the outside. The two work together.
Yes.
Um, and a lot of people you'll see they're beautiful on the outside, but they're not beautiful on the inside. And I said, okay, God, if I'm going to be beautiful on the inside, make me love who I am on the outside. And when I fell in love with Him, He taught me to love who I was on the outside. And so here we are, Ivory, the brand new Ivory, the remade Ivory, the renewed Ivory, the restored Ivory. and I'm walking in my purpose that God has set for me.
Well, oh, that's good, Ivory. That is good. But let me ask, is Ivory your natural born government name for real?
Absolutely.
Get
Absolutely.
out of here. That name right there, well, that'll work all day long. I am Ivory.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am.
How do you introduce yourself? Let me hear you.
Hi, this is Ivory.
Oh. See, I couldn't do it like that. Okay, everybody, welcome, Ivory. That right there is good stuff. That's real good. God gave you a name that was a stage name because I wasn't sure. I was going to ask you that, and I was like, man, I meant to ask you backstage, and I said, I wonder, is that a stage name?
Oh, no.
Ivory Morris.
Ivory Morris. And the thing about my name, if you look it up, it means pure and perfect. The color. A lot of people use it in weddings and special events. And so although I know that I'm not pure and perfect, I serve a pure and perfect God, and I'm flawless in my perfections. And so I love the name. And when I was younger, at a concert, a woman came to me afterwards. I was in middle school, and she said, Ivory, when you become big, she said, don't ever change your name. Stay and keep Ivory. And I've held on to that thing. I will keep my name Ivory till the day I leave this earth.
That is good. Ivory Morris, everybody. We talking to the real Ivory Morris, not some stage name Ivory. This is okay. So when we come back, I would like to know, what was that turning point for you? What was that moment that really kicked it all in? Because you're a whole different person than the person you described back in the day.
Yeah.
So really, we need to know, what is it that really made things come into its wholeness and fullness for you, that you're like, I got this now, and I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and I will never, ever, ever doubt who God created me to be. So I can't wait to hear that. Right after this commercial break, we're going to come back and hear more from Ivory Morris.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone. So we're back and we're talking with Ivory Morris. You can follow her on all social media outlets under her name. So everything, the whole brand is Ivory Morris. So you can follow her on Instagram and on Facebook and stay connected with her, as well as I'll share with you how you're going to be able to get her new single release that we'll be talking about later in this broadcast. So Ivory, what was that turning point for you?
A very pivotal turning point for me was when I went to college, majoring in music. I met a Black and African American opera singer, and my father, who was the music professor, said, I want you to sit down and meet with her. So I sat down and I met with her, and she said, sing for me, and I sung for her. And then she said, why do you close your eyes when you sing? Because I was always one to close my eyes. And what I realized was that I could not look at the audience.
Interesting.
I could not look at the audience while I was singing. And
but why? Why?
But because I did not like who I thought they were looking at.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I didn't like who, like I said, I'm growing up with all the bullying and being talked about. I did not like who I was. And so I would close my eyes so I wouldn't have to worry about, okay, what are they looking at? Are they listening to my voice? Are they looking at me? Are they looking at my skin? Are they looking at my eyes? Are they looking at my... So I would close my eyes and really disconnect from the audience. Well, Alexis, she took my face. It was a mirror, a big mirror in the room, and she took my face and she said, sing to this mirror.
Okay. So she gave you the exercise to look yourself in the mirror, keep your eyes open while you're singing.
She did. Wow. And actually my mother did it when I was younger. She did the same thing. My mother did the same thing. And she said, look at this person. Now sing to this person. And I began to sing, but as I'm singing, I'm crying and I'm trying to close my eyes. And she's like, no, open your eyes and sing to this person. And I'm
So
singing.
she got it. She got it. Alexa she knew that there was something deep rooted. She wasn't even serving as your counselor or anything.
Yeah.
She was just your music coach in that regard. But she knew that she needed to get you
Yeah.
to face yourself.
Yeah.
Wow. Go ahead. Wow.
And that was from that moment on, I learned to open my eyes. I learned to love who I was looking at in the mirror. And so I opened my eyes and look, like I said, now it's a fireball. I'm gonna look at you while I'm singing, but now if I close my eyes, that means I'm tapping in.
wait, stop for a second, because now I cannot imagine being at a concert. I'm in my own world over here. Pay me no mind. But if I'm at a concert, right, and then you come and you're like, and you're right there on me, like, like, look, lady, close your eyes, back out. So now you probably I'm sorry, I'm being so silly. But you're probably going to the
staring down.
You don't go to the extreme, do you? Like where you're
no.
right?
Oh no, but I make a connection with my audience. I want you to know that I'm ministering to you and that I see.
Good.
So yeah.
That's good. So you want people now to know that, oh, you just said something key, Ivory. You're saying some stuff. You don't hear yourself. I don't know if you can hear what you're saying, but you said you want people to know now that I see you. Yeah. So now you're not focused on whether they see you.
No.
You like, no, I see you.
I see you. Yeah. I see where you are in God, where your spirit is. I pick up on a lot of spirits, have a really good discernment spirit. And when I minister to people, I can see right where they are. And I thank God for that. Lord knows I thank God for that. That's good. And I call myself a songbird. My mother calls me a songbird. And I just say, you know what, this songbird not just opens her mouth, but she opens her eyes now. So
that's good. And by all means, don't today on this episode, don't use your spirit of discernment and see what you're like. So Kim, that brings me to the point of, I'm like, girl, commercial.
Oh Lord, no.
I hope you're enjoying yourself on today's episode. But yeah, when we talk about just seeing where we are, what words of advice would you give people coming from being bullied yourself into transforming, listening to your coach, and all that's happened that help you blossom and now see yourself and see others through the spirit of discernment? What advice would you give people to be able to see themselves in the midst of whatever they're dealing with?
Right. You have to know who Christ is. I grew up in the church. I was taught church, but I wasn't taught the relationship with Christ. I was taught the content of the Bible, but not how to properly communicate to my Father. And there's different ways of communication. There's verbal, there's nonverbal.
That's right.
And then there's visual. But God, and there's writing too. Those ways of communication. You have to communicate with your Father. You have to build a relationship.
Yes.
Learn how to love Him. When you know who He is and who is in your life, you begin to know who you are and what's your purpose in life.
Yes.
I've learned all these things when I found Christ. I'm talking about I had Him, but then I had started to get a relationship with Him.
Right.
My relationship began to turn things around for me, began to show me and love who I was. So
that's good. You're saying such profound things, but the things that you're saying all line up with this word. I know the word that I believe in is found right in the Bible. I actually have pages marked off and things that I just say are my go-to kind of scriptures, because sometimes I just need to be able to encourage myself quickly. And I need to go right to what this word is saying for me, not just for any old generic person, but for what He's saying to me. And He specifically was saying things like, hey, I'm working things out for your good, Kim. I know the plans that I have for you, and they are plans for you to prosper, and plans that are not evil. I know that if you trust me and you trust me with all of your heart, and you don't worry about your own understanding of things, that I will continue to direct your path. So there are so many different scriptures that stand out in the word of God that
Yes.
applies to me that I need as a blueprint for my life. And it's interesting because depending upon what situations or circumstances can happen in our lives, which I've had my son pass away, that is something that is hard. It's hard to come back from. If you've not experienced that, it's hard. It's there are no words to describe when God allows you to get your wits about you again.
Wow.
That is nothing but the mercy and the grace of God himself. I get why people now say, "Oh, hope is lost" and stuff, but all hope is never lost.
Yeah.
Not when we have our Lord and Savior Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, who went and died for all of my sins, and He bared the cross. He bared the weight of the world on His shoulders. So it's whatever I deal with, whatever I go through, it's a light affliction compared
Yeah.
to what my Lord and Savior experienced. So I'm grateful for your spirit of discernment and for your willingness to see others and to encourage people on this journey, because
Yeah.
you're doing that. You're doing that. And I'm proud of you for that. Okay, so you've actually went to college. We got through that. So you were bullied. You got to your teenage mothers. What about some teenage mothers out here? There are some teenage mothers that feel like all hope is gone, but you're a teenage mother that got through that journey and
Yes,
got to
ma'am.
the other side of it. Tell
Yeah.
us about that and how you can encourage others that might be teen moms.
Yes. Don't give up. There are so many teen mothers out here. My God. And I look at their stories now, entrepreneurs, business women, CEOs. They just believed that this is not the end. You got to believe that this is not the end.
That's
You
right.
have to take a breather and say, okay, God, with you, I can do all things. All things are possible. This is not the end of me. It's a mistake that I made. Yes. But even my mistake can be a blessing. Oh my God. And it can push me into my purpose. Now, being a teen mother, I ended up being, when I moved from Maryland to now North Carolina, I
Mhm.
ended up being a teen advocate in the community who worked with young teenage girls through a community outreach called Multicultural Student Community Union.
Good.
And I had the girls, and I just taught them through my story, through my journey, through it was a holistic program, teaching them life skills and biblical skills, and working the two together. Um, all those things that I went through ended up helping the teen girls in the community, and till this day, I stay connected with those teen girls. They're young women now, graduated college. Some of them are mothers, and some of them have even made me a godmother to their child. So
Oh, look at God.
yeah, so
That's incredible.
yeah, and so I thank God that the enemy, my God, I thank God that I did not allow the enemy to stop me when
Mm,
I made a mistake way back then. And I said, okay, God, I'm going to take this mistake and I'm going to make it work for your good.
that's good. That's good.
Back to these young girls and teaching them that this is not the end. There's so much more to you.
And there are so many young girls that, and I don't have the statistic here with me, but there are so many that the relationship didn't work out with the
Uh-huh.
young man. And
Hmm.
some do, don't get me wrong, but there are some that just don't work out. And
Right.
now they based everything on thinking that that man was going to be there
Uh,
with them.
yeah.
And so then what? They're like, well, he's not here to help me. He left me. He left and abandoned me and my child, whatever the case may be. So, do you have any advice for young ladies like that may be dealing with somebody that just walked away and left the whole kit and caboodle? There you go. Bye. You're on your own and never again look back.
Right. That was me too. That was me.
I
Just
wasn't sure if that was your story
oh,
or not, but
absolutely.
wow.
That's my story. Um, you have to uh just say, okay, if that didn't work out, he wasn't it. If he can't see my value, my worth, and the worth in his child, then you have to say, okay, I need to let that go and let's keep moving forward. Don't hold on
Wow.
to something that doesn't want to be held on to.
That's that's a commercial break, right? Drop the mic, put the emoji, whatever you want to. Don't try to hold on to something that don't want to be held on to. Let it go. Let it go. Let God deal with it. Let it go. That is some good advice right there. On that note, we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, I want to hear about how did you end up getting into this indie world? You're like, now you Ivory Morris, you out here and you doing your thing at a whole different level. So when we come back, I would like for us, let me see some of these studio audience comments. Let it go, Erica said. Amen. Let me put your studio audience comments up here. And thank you all for being here in the virtual studio audience today. Dorothy said, that's right. That's right. And then I saw Erica was cracking up when I said, don't be trying to use no discernment on me today. That she put all kind of sideways. Like, I see you, Erica, in the studio audience. That's funny. Okay, some other people had commented too, but I'll go back and see if I can grab your comment for a second, guys. I'm trying my best not to leave anybody's comments out, and we do appreciate you being here today. Here, I see you, Erica. You say, okay, hey, ladies, and glad to have you. Very glad to have you all. So keep your comments coming in, and if you have a question too for our guest, Ivory Morris, feel free to go ahead and pop it in the comments section, and I'll pull it up for you today. So we'll be right back after this commercial break. Ivory, when we come back, we're going to talk about your gospel recording artistry and everything that you bring to the world from that perspective. And you might as well get your throat right, because before the end of this broadcast, you're going to have to belt out a tune. I'm telling you in advance. It's like we got about 30 minutes. I done gave you a courtesy heads up. I can't do that because I can't sing, but like I could do. Okay, bye.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, and we are back with Ivory Morris, and I was gonna say here to perform. I was gonna, but I didn't go there yet. We go. She's like, oh no, not the whole performance. Ivory, talk to us and tell us when you decided that this is gonna be it for you. This is your passion. This is your pursuit, your purpose, and you're gonna go with everything you have within you to achieve it. So let's talk about your music career.
Yes, ma'am. I have been singing since I was probably about 5. But most of the time, pretty much all the time, I've been in the background of things. And when I moved to North Carolina, God began to put it in my spirit to put out my own music. He began to download songs and melodies into my heart. And I said, okay, God, I want to share this. I don't believe that God is going to give you something to keep to yourself. And so say, hey, God, give me what I need to start sharing this.
Right.
We moved here in 2009. Yeah. So we've been at this journey for a long time. Me and my husband, who's my keyboard player and my co-producer on the
Okay,
album.
wait a minute now. So he your Boaz, right?
Absolutely.
Let me pull this man up here. Let me see what I see y'all in here doing a selfie. What y'all doing? Look at him. He like, I got her back.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Love to play. We love to have fun.
He looks so happy though. He like, hey, babe. He right there close by you. What's your husband's name?
Michael.
Michael, we see you, Michael. We see you back there trying to get some brownie points. So he's your organist. He's keyboard player.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What else does he do with you?
I call him. We're in ministry together. It's just so profound how God placed us together. But I call him, Lord have mercy, my modern day Joseph, because like I said, I was a teen mother.
I'm glad you edited that because you better say Lord have mercy. You sound like you're going to say some kind of bedroom name or something. Like, wait, what you get ready to say on the show?
Right.
It said, Lord have mercy. What do I call him? You don't know what you call your husband? You know goodness well what you call him, but you just didn't want to say it on this good show. So you're like, Lord, what's the church version of what I call my man? What I call you out in the public, man?
Right. Don't say those names. But he's my modern day Joseph.
Okay.
Being a teen mother, he took me and my daughter in. That's a whole nother story could be talked about. But he took me and my daughter in, and we just became one big happy family. Um, so he's been in this journey with me for a while, and we've been trying to put out a CD. I kid you not, every single time that we tried to start producing music, it just fell. It fell. It fell. And so I began to get, and we're human, so we have human natural feelings. I began to get discouraged and say, "Okay, God, this is not going to happen." And I began to get comfortable with just being in the background.
Interesting.
I began to.
And so when you say in the background, you've been in the background for some pretty well-known people. Talk to us about like Pastor William Beckton. Tell us about some of the people you've been in the background for.
Pastor William Beckton. I background and lead for. He likes his singers to background and lead. I love Pastor Beckton. If you're going to be in the background, you're also going to learn how to lead. So I was with him for maybe 2.5 years.
Excellent.
Yeah, and he's awesome vocal coach too. But I sung for Nelly. We actually ended up writing a song for him, the rapper Nelly.
Okay.
I sung for him when I was in Missouri, and doing some studio stuff for him. So that was awesome. I currently still sing with my brother, Patrick Love. If you ever heard the song Write the Vision.
Yes.
Patrick, he's a well-known artist and writer in the music industry. So
we love him. He's great. Absolutely.
I love him.
He's from the Queen City.
Yes,
he's from
he is.
Charlotte. Yes, Patrick Love.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I'm trying to think of anybody else. I got 1,000 things. I've done choirs and praise teams in and out of the country, Panama, Africa, London. So I've done a lot of things, like I said, in the background. And it's fine. It's absolutely fine being in the background. You have a lot of fun in the background.
Right.
But when God is pulling on you to come forth, and you feel like there's something that's not being done, there becomes a sense of you're not fulfilling your purpose.
Right. It's like you get that nagging feeling. It's like I'm not going to be able to rest or just rest on my laurels until I get going with what God has purposed for me to do. So I can't just sit here and do nothing knowing that he's put this stuff inside of me to birth it out. And you're not going to be able to sit still until you birth out what God put inside of you. And sometimes it's only what is for you to do. Not everybody else can do what you're required to do. When you talked about the spirit of discernment and stuff, there are different pieces of my story, my journey, that I know that God is using my life for whatever the reason to be an inspiration to other people. I don't know why he's deciding to allow me, like, really? Do I have to be the person that you use in this particular regard? But guess what? That's not for me to determine one way or the other. That's God's decision about what he wants to get the glory out of my life to him. That's whatever you decide. I'm just a willing vessel. I'm here to do whatever you tell me that you want me to do, Lord. And I am like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. All right. So whatever. Okay. What is it like being a new indie recording artist? And when you say, because for people that's not in the music world, talk to us about what it means to be indie. What is indie?
Yes.
Versus, I don't know.
You're not connected with a major label. Major artists are Tasha Cobbs or Kurt Franklin. They're major artists, and they have a lot of support financially. And
so you're independent.
Independent. Indie is short for independent.
Excellent. Okay, why didn't I know that? Hello. But so here's how I would introduce you. Yes, you may have heard some that are already on international record labels, but guess what? You have not encountered the international best kept secret in the world that's about to explode on the scene, and you will never ever see her the same way again. We have international recording artist indie recording artist, only because one of y'all out there haven't picked up on the vibe that she definitely needs to be on your label. Then guess what? Indie recording. But now, a recording artist, Ivory Morris.
I love it. I absolutely love it. That was wonderful.
So, okay, so being indie, you have more control too, because you're getting the opportunity to own your own work and your own produce your songs, own the rights to your music. So I guess I'm an indie too with Kim Jacobs show.
Yes, yes, that's it.
That's good, really good. And so what is it like being out there marketing yourself and sharing your brand with the public when you're doing all of the work yourself? Talk to us.
It is a journey and a task. Thank God I have my producer and manager with me. Uh, his name is Lawrence Jones of the Jones brand family. Oh my
Okay.
God, they are awesome. They are teaching me so much about being an indie artist. Um,
Okay.
you do a lot of stuff yourself. You have to put the work into it. It's nobody there pushing you and support,
Right.
especially financially. You have to do pretty much all of the legwork. But I just feel like God, it's worth it. If you've called me to do this, then God, it's all worth it. I trust you. I'll trust that I have to sacrifice some
That's right.
sleepless nights. I trust that I have to sacrifice going out to dinner with my girlfriends. I trust that everything that I'm doing right now is going to work for my good. Look, it all turns back to working for my good. So
Some kind of way.
trusting
Right.
him. Yeah, I'm trusting him through this.
Good. Well, why, when you said you were man's misfit, when we were trying to gather some information about you, you specifically said, I'm man's misfit, but I'm God's like perfect fit or kingdom's perfect fit. What made you say that? What does that mean?
Because I've been trying to figure out where I belong for so
Oh,
long,
wow.
when not being accepted by my peers
Hmm.
in the educational world. Um, and even sometimes it could be in family. Some people have what they call the black sheep
Yeah.
of the families. So people that I see that as a misfit. And I say misfit, I use the word misfit too, also because, and it's Christmas time, it's just so fitting. There is a Christmas movie called Santa Claus. And he is, and one of the elves was trying to fit in. And the song he used to sing is I am not just a misfit. Yes. So um misfits don't fit in. They don't fit in anywhere. And so
Well,
I
then
was,
I'm a misfit. So,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I
And so
don't
I was trying,
believe
where do I fit in, God? And God said, you fit in right here all along, Ivory. You belong here. There's a song, I belong here. You belong here, Ivory, right here in the kingdom of God. And that's where I found that I fit in. And I fit in perfectly into this puzzle piece of life.
So you could do a singing show. You could just sing, you could sing like that, right just in the middle of a sentence.
Yes, ma'am. I do it all the time. I'll be at the drive-through, I'll be like, can I get a drink? Yes. It's
No,
like,
if I said, "Can I get a drink?" This is what it's gonna sound like. Okay, can I get a drink? They'll be like, "No," because you don't sound like you know what you're talking about. They'll be like, "I'll pour the drink on you," but with
bless.
you, they'll give you a drink.
Yes. It's such a happy
Oh my
time.
goodness. So being man's misfit, in your opinion, is something now that you embrace because you're able to be molded by God and do what He wants you to do on this journey.
Absolutely. He said that you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. I am peculiar. I am different. And I thank God. I get joy in being different now. I'm not like everybody else's preacher. I'm not like everybody else's teacher. The way I teach the word, I break it down in simple formation that even a child could understand it. I use
Yes,
visuals where if you have to understand, some people are visual, and some people are tangible. They need tangible things. They need to be able to see it. I've learned all these things, and so when I teach and when I preach, I make sure that I'm able to give it to you in each kind of way. And I
that's good.
love, absolutely love being different in who I am now.
Yes, I actually embrace being different as well. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm never going to fit in.
Mm,
Even where I think I'm fitting in, I realized throughout the journey that, oh, I really wasn't fitting in there either. So I've learned a lot of different scenarios that I'm thinking, I fit in here. This is where I fit in. Nope.
yeah,
And it's like I just never can really 100% fit in anywhere. And so maybe that's God's way of just saying to me, Kim, I have this happening on your journey on purpose because
right.
I don't want you to get so clicked off and
Yeah.
so isolated. I was telling my son we were driving and they went to this big thing happened recently. And I said, I was voted in as senior class president at James Madison University, which is a predominantly Caucasian university.
Mm,
A gorgeous school. I love the school. But you, as an African American female, don't just get voted in as
right.
no senior class president. Who know you to be getting voted in as that? I spoke to everybody. I wasn't friends with everybody, but I loved everybody. And so nobody could say Kim is clicked with this one group or with this
Right.
one group or with this
Right.
one cluster. Any of them could say we all know and love Kim, and she shows us all the same level of love and consideration amongst the university. And as a result of that, when it was chance for them to vote who they wanted for their senior class president, they voted for me.
Mm,
And I was like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And not because I was trying to be so popular or anything. I just was being myself. And it worked because I wasn't fitting in anywhere. All right, listen, we have a lot of studio audience comments that's coming in. I want to pop them up. If you have any questions for Ivory Morris, go ahead and type them now. Let's see. I see. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's Erica laughing. I think Erica just having like she had a comedy show. She said she knows. J. Nicole Goodson is another singer that you definitely want to connect up with. She also, I'm sure, is an indie artist because she does great work. Kim Jacobs, you are cracking me up. You come on here and sing, J. Nicole Goodson. Come on up here on the Kim Jacobs show. Andy Roberts says, "Where is William Beckton based currently?"
He's still here in the Carolinas. Still here in
Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw him. I actually saw him recently. So I know he's somewhere in the Carolinas. I don't know if he was just visiting or not. Let's see. That's right. It's not everyone's assignment. What he has designed for you is yours only. Yes. Thank you so much for that comment. Nice, nice. Hats off to you, to indie artists. You have to work. You have to do your work.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's see. If God called you to it, he will provide. Go, Ivory. You belong to God. He got you, and you got this. Yes.
Amen.
And Lily said that you were created to stand out.
Yeah.
And she's laughing at something. Oh, that's right. That's right. Al Bridges says. And some of your quotes. I see you backstage. Andrew, thank you for popping in to help backstage. Thank you. Okay. Yes, misfit is what Kimberly Cohen said. Lots of comments coming in. Lawrence Jones says, yes, yes. I've always been a misfit. Yeah, me too. So it's okay. But God. All right. So today's episode is also sponsored by attorney Hunter Everidge Law Firm. If you've ever been denied a claim, especially regarding disability, or you're dealing with an injury claim or anything like that, definitely reach out to them, 704-377-9157, and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. Right after this commercial break, I'd like to hear what's next for you, Ivory. What else is getting ready to pop off for Ivory Morris? And talk to us about this new release, Constantly, right when we come back. So get your vocals ready. We get ready to do this. You know that, right? And I'm going to coach you. Ivory.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give you some feedback and I'm going to, take you there.
Yes, ma'am.
You're like, girl, go home. Get yourself somewhere. All right, everybody. We'll be right back.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented. And I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work with Hunter and Everidge. We've got the experience. So let us help you.
All right, everyone. We're back talking with indie recording artist Ivory, which is her government name, Ivory Morris. And so as we're talking with you today, I'd love to hear about your new release that you want the world to know about.
Yes, I am super excited about this baby, this song, this birthing, called Constantly. And it comes from um the scripture in Psalm 71 where it talks about a constant praise being in our mouth. Well, it says actually continuous, but continuous in a song with that melody was a little bit much to say. So I said, okay, God, give me what to say right here. And he changed the word to constantly. And constantly is something that's continuous. It's everlasting, always going. It never stops. Look, through good and through bad, ups and downs, in the good times and the bad times, there has to be a constant praise from our mouths. And God is seeing if he can trust you to give him a constant praise. So, and through my journey, I've always given God a constant praise. So this song is personal to me. But we dropped it on November 5th. Oh my God. And the response has been bananas. Everybody is loving it. And it's just lifting up people popping in and said, your song helped me on this morning. This was my wake up song this morning. So I'm loving what God is doing with this
It's
song.
incredible. It's incredible. Your
Thank
song is incredible. So, okay. And I know we're not going to play it right now because if we play it all, then you're not going to get to go get the download. And so we want you to go and get the download on all major outlets. You can definitely get your download. And let me show you where you can go to all digital platforms across the board, no matter pretty much which one. And you can get your new single from Ivory Morris. We hope you will get that today. It's been available since November 5th. And the pre-orders have began on October 29th, which now you can just get your copy. You don't have to run a pre-order. Go ahead and get the download done now, today. So this new single is available by this lovely indie recording artist, Ivory Morris. And so with that being the case, I would like for you to, let's see. Maybe I'll just wait to the close to the end. Okay. Tell us, how do you balance all of these different hats that you wear? Because you got a whole family, you got like adult children, young adult, teenage, and all different ages. Talk to us about how you balance this thing called life as a recording artist.
I prioritize. Look, we have to prioritize our life. And I work in balance. I have to spend time with my children. I have to make time for my husband. And then I also have to make time for myself. A lot of people put themselves aside, but then I also have to make time for the music part of it, for the artist side of Ivory. Then there's the worship side of Ivory. Um, I have to balance these things. Prioritizing helps me. Um, he said to write the vision in Habakkuk, write it and make it plain. If we do those things, we make it plain, it helps us set goals. It helps us prioritize our lives. I write out in my calendar, I write up on my notebook, I write in my tablet, I write in my phone. What am I doing, Ivory? Prioritizing is key and is the success to life. Look, I don't want to just survive. We've been taught in the olden days just to survive. No,
Right.
I want to win. Oh my God, I want to win. And I have to prioritize and have balance in my life. I can't just do church, because then you get church burned out. And a lot of
That's
people
right.
don't really want to talk about it or really acknowledge that you do get church burnt out because there's a program, there's a revival, there's a conference, and then the household goes lacking. But if you set it up the way God has planned it, God said it's
Yes.
me, then family, then ministry. And so that's how I prioritize my life. And it has been working so good for us. So I thank God.
That's good. That's good. You hear it from Ivory Morris. I think that hopefully this is an interview that'll go down in the history of your indie career because you get the opportunity not just to come on and sing,
For
but to give us a behind the unveiling of Ivory Morris, the unveiling of your constantly praise that God put down on the inside of you. And that right there will preach and it also sing.
yeah.
But it clearly is something that is making a difference in your life as to how you prioritize things. So you're constantly, I'm going to give you kind of like a sermon here. So you're constantly prioritizing, you're constantly evaluating, you're constantly trying to readjust and shift to make decisions on what's going to be the priority for that moment. Because see, I'm a balanced doctor officially. Remember, that's my thing. I'm Kim Jacobs, the balanced doctor. I had no idea that I would be balancing all of the stuff that I'm balancing in life. So God even sometimes has a sense of humor. He's like, oh yeah, you're going to be the balance doctor because you're going to be like, hippity doo dah. Who knows what's going to be popping off in my life that I have to balance at that moment. But I'm being true to who I say I am, which is that God is going to ultimately get the glory out of every aspect of my life, whether it's the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, whatever. I'm constantly going to praise him because he's worthy of that always. Right? Okay, so this, they say they sign all bands. Who signs all bands? You want to come on and say something, Andrew? Oh, he said, no, not today, Kim. Okay, Andrew, I try to reach out to record labels like Tribana and Winston-Salem area. And he said they sign all bands. Oh, they sign. Sign meaning they'll sign up bands.
Oh, okay.
That's important. Oh, he's telling you. Okay, Andrew, you throwing me off back there backstage. He's saying to you.
Yes.
I would try to reach out to the record labels like Tribunal. And okay, I said Tribunal. Andrew, and you laughing. I should put you in. He's backstage helping me, but I'm not gonna pull you in. But you're gonna get me up there looking at food, talking about some tribunal, and I don't even know what the word is. And I'm looking, and then he's laughing. He's laughing, but he can choose whether he's gonna be on the screen or not. Right? I'm not pulling you in. But anyway, he said that he would reach out to the record labels in the Tribunal and Winston-Salem area because they do sign all bands. That's important. So what's next for you? Ivory, tell us what's next for you.
We are working on our next few songs, which we call in the musical world an EP, which is a smaller version of an album. That's the fab now. We're doing the EP and then the album. So right now we're working on the EP. I'm working with my manager. He's actually typing on the screen.
This is him, Lawrence Jones, right?
Lawrence Jones.
And Lawrence, let me make sure I put this link here. I'm gonna put this link in the comment section. So if you want to pop on, you can just click right on this link that's in the comment of wherever you're viewing it. And that link will bring you on screen. This is Lawrence J. Jones, y'all. Now, just like Ivory Morris is an international indie recording artist, she couldn't do this by herself. So she needs her manager, her person that believes in her, just like her husband would believe in her, her business manager believes in her. And that's none other than Lawrence J. Jones. So welcome, Lawrence. Woo woo. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Keep on talking.
That's what we're gearing up towards next. We have many days ahead of us to get prepared for that. We have a big, huge concert coming up with another artist who I am featured on coming up. I think I have it on my page. If you want to come and experience some of the music, go buy your ticket to that concert. Matter of fact, his name is John Parker Jr. If you look on my page, John Parker Jr., he's releasing his complete album. And there, I'm featured on one of his songs. And I'm excited about my brother. Look, you got to get excited about the things that other people do because your turn is coming. But be excited for somebody else in their moment. And I have no problem with that. Because I said, okay, God, if you did it for him, I know good and well you can do it for me. So I'm excited about that. So that's where we are. We're getting geared up for the EP.
That's good. That's exciting. So you have to let us know when that happens so we can be on the forefront of it. And I'm looking forward to it. So listen, all of the ways that you can go ahead and get your copy of the download for what is available now is on all digital platforms. So you can go and get it now. It's constantly on all major outlets that are the digital platforms. And we know Ivory Morris is the performer for that. And what's next for you? Okay. What advice do you have for someone going through similar life experiences as yourself that still want to get into the music industry? In a nutshell, can you tell us that?
I believe that all those things that you're going through helps you right. I believe it helps birth things in you. I believe that we don't go through anything just by happenstance. God never does things just by chance or just because. He has a purpose, a complete purpose for everything. So if you are going through, use that energy and turn it into music. Look, turn it into art, turn it into a story, because it can help deliver somebody else through that song, which is really your story. And it really can pull on the hearts of people. That's how I do my writing. I try to pull on the hearts of people, but it's with truth, those things that I've gone through. And then pray about it with God. Ask
That's
Him
good.
to put people in your path who want to see you win. No other hidden agendas, that want to see you win. Lawrence Jones wants to see me win, wants to see my husband win, and wants to see my children win. He wants to see our complete family win. And that's what I like.
Yeah,
He doesn't just, Ivory, how's the music going? No, how's the kids doing? How is school going for the kids? We just had a conversation the other night. So make sure there's a connection with you and your producer. If there's not a connection, then more than likely the product itself is not going to be good. There's not going to be a realness to it. So they have to be able to know your heart. Your producer
that's good.
has to know your heart. So that's the advice that I would give to you. Don't give up, but make sure you ask God to put the right people in your path.
Make sure you have God put the right people in your path, like Lawrence J. Jones has been put in Ivory Morris's path and her family's path. And he has the whole family's best interest. And she
Yeah,
knows that. And her
yeah,
husband knows that. And that does make a difference on her spiritual and
yeah.
her music journey, when you know that your family is all on board with the vision that God put inside of you. So listen, everybody, the way that we can provide this kind of programming Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 1 full hour daily is by having people like you all in the community pour into our ministry. This is the only way we can keep our staff and we can keep this original content flowing out so that we can continue to bring balance to the world, one household at a time. So go ahead, and when you get a moment today, just drop something into our ministry that would allow us to be able to keep this show, the indie talk show. Now that I know what it is, the indie talk show, the Kim Jacobs show, live and fully operational for you all. And also, I encourage you to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe as well if you haven't already done that. Erica, I see you. You say amen over there for Lawrence. And I see you, Erica, saying yes. All right. So as we prepare to close out, I'm going to give you 2 seconds to clear your throat, drink a sip of water, because I'm going to go right here to this one little commercial. And then that's it. We get ready to close out. So you got to belt something out for like the last 2 to 3 minutes. All right. Today's episode is also sponsored, everyone, by Lamb Funeral Home. Lamb Funeral Home is in the Concord, North Carolina area, but they are certified in all 50 states. So if you, no matter where you are, if you're dealing with a funeral home need, which over 700,000 people have passed away with COVID-related complications alone. So we know there are a lot of people that need funeral services. You can give them a call at 704-782-3011. Mr. Terry Lamb, as an added benefit, is a veteran. So if you're dealing with any veteran related questions, please reach out to them today, 704-782-3011. You'll learn what to expect, the immediate needs, and funeral pre-planning. And that is our episode sponsor for today as well. All right, we're getting ready here. How many of y'all want to hear just like at least 1-2 minutes of, as we get ready to close out, from Ivory Morris? Say, sang Ivory. Y'all better type it, hashtag sang Ivory. If y'all don't hashtag sang Ivory, I don't know if I'm gonna let y'all know. Let me see. Anybody typing sang Ivory? I need to see some sang Ivories coming up. Come on. Sang Ivory, hashtag sang Ivory. I know y'all can't type it so fast. So she got to go ahead and say something. So go ahead. Start singing something for us. Ivory Morris,
Yes,
it's been a
ma'am.
delight and a joy to be here today. Thank you for being here with us.
And thank you. I am so privileged and honored. I'll sing something old real quick, but you go ahead and pick up constantly today.
Yeah, y'all pick up constantly today on all major outlets.
Yes, today. And may it encourage you. I just can't give of now. I've come too far from where I started from. Oh, nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far. Oh, I don't believe he's brought me this far. I don't believe God has brought me this far to leave me.
Wow. You're going to do that to somebody right at the last part of this show? You're a trip. I don't have no coaching advice for you. You got me told out. Ivory Morris right here on the Kim Jacobs Show, everybody. Make sure you go and get every available copy of Constantly on today. You all be blessed. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Kim Jacobs Show at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can stay backstage if you like, Ivory, and I'll talk to you in a second. Y'all have a beautiful day. We'll see you Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.